Hey Flosstube, this is Danielle and this is my channel Love and Stitchin'. This is a channel about cross stitch and I am so glad that you are here joining me today. It is Tuesday, January 30th, 2024. This is Flosstube number 39. Thank you so much for coming back. If you're a returner, I really appreciate you coming back to hang out with me and sticking with me throughout what was a very challenging 2023. And if you're new, I'm so glad that you're here. I hope that you find something that you like and want to hang out again, but thank you so much for joining me. This is my first video in 2024, so I'm really glad to kind of be back. I've got a new plan for the year as far as my stitching and Flosstube, and so I want to share that with you today. Share with you the stitching that I've done since it has been, since my ornament parade that I did in December, so it's been a little while. I didn't do a ton of stitching in December, so there's not much to show there, but I do have a game plan for this year. So January has been pretty busy. If you follow me on on Instagram, you've kind of probably seen some of what I've been working on there, but I do have some other things to share as well, so I'm excited to be back. So I want to start out with going over my plans for 2024 because that kind of flows into what I'm going to show today. And then I do want to recap a little bit of what I did in December. I think there's one thing to show there. And then go through some fully finished objects, my finishes for the month, and my whips. And then I've got it all written down here so that I can follow everything. And then my plans for the next month and all of that. And then I do have a giveaway that I want to do, as well as some Christmas haul, and a small life update at the end. I will do that at the end. So let's jump into my plans for 2024. So last year I did stitching. I did a whole bunch of ornaments. So let's see, I have the stats from last year. So I had 48 finishes in 2023. So that's actually not half bad considering what the year meant. 30 of those were ornaments. So 30 of those finishes were pretty small. So that leaves about 18 that were a little bit bigger or not ornament in size. I did do a whip count as far as just rounding up all of my whips for where I ended the year in 2023. And I was at 54 whips at the end of the year. So that's not too bad. I think that's more than I had last year. So I did increase rather than decrease. So this year my focus really is on, again, whips. I think I said that last year, but this year I think I'm actually going to stick with it. So far I've done pretty good. So we'll see how the rest of the year plays out. But I want to get that number down. But kind of what my plan is, first off, I want to come on to Flosstube at the end of every month and share what I have done. So hopefully once a month at the end, I'll be able to share a recap of that month. So that's my Flosstube plan. And then as far as my stitching plan, I have some larger whips that I haven't gotten to do a lot of work on, but there's a list of them that I want to kind of go through. So I've decided that each month I'm going to have one larger focus piece, and I'm just going to not so much monogamously work on it, but really focus on getting that one done, or at least making significant progress. It depends on what the piece is and how much I've already done on it, and things like that. So I've got a running list that I can pick from every month of which one I want to do. I'm not planning out the months ahead as far as what I want to do yet. I'm just going to go at the end of every month and decide what I want to do for the next month. So I do have February's picked out since it's almost February. And then I've got, I want to do the goal to stitch 52 ornaments again with my friends who are doing it as well. So I'm excited to do that with them. And I've got, I think, 4 ornaments a month I'm going to try to do. And so that's on there. So the main piece as well as the 4 ornaments are going to be my monthly goals or plans. And then I also have different seasonal pieces that I may want to try to pick up as far as whips and work on, get some progress on, but I don't have any goals as far as they're concerned, just to get some progress on them if I have time to pick them up. I do imagine there's going to be some new starts throughout the time because there's always new things that I want to pick up, but I really do want to try to get that whip count down. So that's kind of the overarching plan for 2024. So with that in mind, today I'm going to share my large piece, which actually it wasn't a whip, it was a new year, new start. But it was like my blessing sampler, I guess you could call it, that I wanted to get done in the month of January. And the ornaments that I've been working on, I did get 3 done. I'm working on the 4th one, and those 3 were actually, well, 4 of them were actually whips that I brought into the year of ornaments. 2 of them I've had for at least 2 years that were whips. One is now finished, and the last one is the one that I'm working on. So those are some whips. So that already has gotten my whip count down to like 51 now, I guess, because I got 3 of those done. So that's progress. But I wanted to get those 4 ornaments done before I start any new ones. That way I at least had the whips done, and now I can start in on some new ones with those completed. The last one's almost completed. I might be able to get it done today and tomorrow. We'll see by the end of the month. If not, I'll finish it up in February and then start on my new ones when I get to it. So that's kind of what the plan is. I did want to start off with a recent or a previous finish, and then I do have one FFO that I was able to get done. I haven't done any FFOing except for the ornaments this past year, so I'd like to get some of the stuff that's in my to get done seasonally, try to get some of them done. So I've got some pillows that are going to be our little pillows for Valentine's Day that I'd like to try to get done, so we'll see if I can sew those into pillows. But anyhow, this is, if you heard that, that was part of the piece fall. Hold on. The magnet came off too. Oh, it's just on there with a washer though. All right, here we go. Sorry about that. Is that gonna work? I'll just hold it on there for now, then I'll have to fix it. Oh, it's gonna stay. Okay, so this is by Hands On Design, and this is one of her the first one that she did. It was in a magazine online. I think it was an online purchase actually, but an online magazine maybe. And so this was before she did a whole new January or winter not wordplay. I can't think of the name, but I'm sure you've seen this. So she's got now 4 new seasons, as well as the quilting and the cross stitch version of these. This is the only one I've done. I think I've started the harvest one, but it's a whip, but I haven't finished it. But what I did is, this is actually like a cabinet door, I think, that my dad had, and he wasn't using it. So what I did is I just stained it this brown color, and then put the piece in the middle because it fit perfectly. And then I put up here the ribbon and a snowflake up top. And then this is actually an ornament, so everything comes off because I want to stitch the other seasons, and I'll probably, yeah, that's on magnets too, put them on here as well. But this is just an ornament that I was gifted many years ago, and I thought the blue kind of matched some of the blue in here. And then I did want to bring out the red and the snowflakes as well. So just bring out a pop of color for the finish. So this is my finish for winter that I've got that I wanted to show today. And I think this is on 28 count black Jobelin with the called for colors. Except for, I do know I changed this hat to purple because purple is my favorite color. And so I think this was maybe a blue or something. So I did change that. I think that's probably the only change that I did. And I stitched this in 2020. So this was a piece, I think I stitched it pretty monogamously. There was a stitch along with it, and so I decided to join in. And that was my January start for 2020. And then I think I stitched most of it in January. And I remember my middle daughter was only like 3 months old. And so she would just sleep on me and I'd just be stitching, and it was great. So those memories are very, very sweet. All right, so for my FFO, this is Home is Where the Wreath Is by Stitching with the Housewives. I've had this finished since last year. I had a plan of where I wanted it to go, how I wanted it to be. I had the finishing piece painted, all the things, until I finally just was like, let's go ahead and get it up on the wall. And so I'm gonna actually insert a picture, maybe not here, but of what the whole piece looks like. So I'm gonna share the individual pieces. There is this board right here. You can see this white. It's a, oh, I can't think of it. I'd be able to think of it. Anyways, it's this big white board. It's the crate things that people travel, or you package things on. My husband painted it white and put it up on the wall, and it's been in our dining room forever, just painted white without anything on it, because I knew what I wanted to do. I had a whole layout of all the pieces I wanted to go on it, and I just needed to get the Home is Where the Wreath Is finished. So when my daughter was in the NICU last year, I had all the letters outlined while she would just be sleeping and I'd be sitting there with her. I would just be stitching in on the white fill-in pieces, or if I was sitting in the car waiting on my husband because we had to switch out, I'd just be stitching on it. So I finally got it done, and it's just been sitting there waiting to go up. So this is how I finished it. And I think this goes that way. So this is the H, the wreath, and I'll tell you a little bit more here in just a second. The M and the E. And it is a lot of white stitching. There's no doubt about that. So what I did with them, I'm going to share the wreath for because it's a little bit different. The H, the M, and the E are all glued down onto this square board. I got these at Walmart for, I want to say like $1. And on the back, you'll see that they've got an open cutout of a heart, and they might actually have them now. So I painted them gray, and then I put the sticky board or the mat board with the piece, and I do have this, I've got all of it on magnets because I'm not sure if I want to keep this piece. I might end up gluing it down and then just switching out the wreath, but I wasn't sure if I might want to do some pops of color for the rest of the months when I get around to doing that. So right now everything's just on washers and magnets until I make that decision. And then they're stitched on black 28 count Monaco, and I think it goes that way. There's a specific way the wreath goes, and I had to write it down to try to remember how it goes on there. And it's stitched with the called for colors, I believe. There is like one mistake somewhere in here, like one of these leaves is off, but you just can't tell, so I went with it. And now it is on my, not really a gallery wall, but I've got a family pictures up there that I wanted. I have this, I've got to find something to put on it. It's a sled, but I wanted to put seasonal pieces on it for every season. So I've got my winter display of what I put up for Christmas. I guess I could put some of the winter pieces back up there. They're kind of scattered with my other decor right now since it was put away for a while. But I got some things I can put up there for winter, and then I want to do like some more seasonal things, especially as the wreaths start getting swapped out to where the wreath and the sled will have different things on it, because it's just a really cute shelf. Even though it's sled winter, I still like it and I want it to stay up there. I do have something else that I'm going to plan to do for this. I want to stitch I'm going to insert a picture of what the whole board looks like with the family pictures and things. And it's kind of a black and white theme, I guess. There is some pops of color in there, but I wanted to keep like the stitchings on black. And then I want to stitch the Stitching with the Housewives piece that's family. And so once that is in their Etsy shop, I'll probably get it and start on it. And it's going to go at the bottom, and we'll take the plaque on there that says family grows with love or something like that. We'll take that out, and then we'll rearrange the pictures a little bit to make it fit. So that is my plan for that, but I'm really excited to have that up, and I just smile every time I see all of my family pictures up there together, and it's wonderful. I love it. And kudos to my husband because he put all that together. He hung everything up, figured out all the math and the dimensions and everything like that I can't figure out. That's a lot of work. All right, so moving into my plans for, I'm going to actually show because this is what I worked on for Christmas up until New Year's. So I'll share that WIP first, and then we'll go into the others. So I do need to pull this up on my iPad or my tablet. It's not an iPad, but you know, it is this one. This is by Sweet Wing Studio. This is my Christmas Day start, and it is Born This Night is what it is called. Oh, you can see all my stuff on there. So that is the piece. So this is what I worked on for about a week. It was my Christmas Day start, and I really enjoyed working on it. And this is how far I got on it. And I think, I can't say for sure if I'm using the called for colors, but I'm stitching it on Color and Cotton 32 count travertine, and it is the September 2023 Fabric Club, and this is a Belfast linen. So that's how far I got. So there's not really a ton more. It comes down to maybe about here, and so I think I could probably get this one done, finished this year. And it is in a bag that I got that's part of my haul, so I'll go ahead and show it since it's here. This is by Wildberry Stitching, and I think she was having a sale at the end of the month, and so I picked this bag up, and I love it. And then I also got the little floss cube as well. And then I might be choosing my own colors actually now that I look at it, because I've got some Weeks Dye Works on here. Yeah, I think I just chose my own colors. I've been doing that a lot, just kind of picking colors that are from my stash that I have to where I don't have to actually go out and purchase anything, because I have plenty of stash that I could work through and that I can make work. So these are the colors. They're a little bit messy. But I've got Weeks Dye Works Hunter, Weeks Dye Works Emerald, Classic Colorworks 4-Leaf Clover, Classic Colorworks Roasted Chestnut, let's see, DMC 3371, Classic Colorworks Toasted Marshmallow, Classic Colorworks Licorice Red, and Classic Colorworks Honeycomb. So these are the colors, and that is the piece. So I'm really enjoying that one, and I will probably pick that one up closer to Christmas again, unless I just get the hankering to work on it before then. But it's a quick stitch, and it's going very, very quickly. Okay, now let's go into January. So I'm gonna go ahead and share my big piece of January because I'm very excited for it. And I've been showing it on Instagram. So this is a Quaker Welcome, and I bought this from Leela's Studio, and I got the PDF on Etsy. She had a sale. I got this one and her Christmas Quaker, I think. I can't think of the name of it, but it's a Christmas Quaker. So this is the piece, and it is large. It's large. My husband told me, I told him that I finished my big piece, and he's like, it's not that big. And I was like, okay, I'm stitching it on a small count, which is why it doesn't look very big, but it is. It's 232 by 172. So for me, that's a large piece to stitch. I stitched this on 36 count doubloon by Picture This Plus, and I am going to go through my color conversion because I did change quite a few things. I've written everything down, but I've gotten a lot of questions on Instagram about that, so I thought it would be easier to kind of share and go through on here. So if you'll bear with me, I'm going to give this one a little bit of attention and love on my video. But here is the finish. And I am so excited. I just love it. I can't wait to put it up. I'm gonna go run to Hobby Lobby, see if I can find something that I just have to like maybe get a mat made to fit it. And that way I don't have to get custom framing because that's expensive. And I think I could probably do it myself. I've done some framing in the past. It will take some time to do it though. So I started this on January 1st. I finished it yesterday morning at like 5:30. My 4-year-old decided to wake up bright and early. And I just had a little bit left of this crow down here. So I just finished him up in the 20 minutes that I had to stitch before we had to get everyone else or everything else going, feed the baby, everything like that. So I did use some of the called for colors, so pull that up. So the black is Onyx by Gentle Arts, and I actually ran out of it. So it calls for, this finish was stitched on 40 count, so that might be why I ran out. The model was, I stitched it on 36 count. So I needed, it calls for 2 skeins, I needed a 3rd skein, and I ran out, and I had to order it online. I knew that I was going to run out, so I ordered it, but it took a good week to get in, and I was not thinking it was going to get here in time. I was tracking it. And so instead what I did, because, you know, what else are you going to do? I went to some other places and ordered it on that, like Etsy, that said that they would get here faster. In the end, one of the Etsy purchases, which I was getting something else from that anyway, they just happened to have it, so I ordered it. It's not due here till tomorrow. The other one came yesterday, and the original order came on Saturday, maybe Friday. Maybe Friday or Saturday. So I should have just stuck with the original order. That's okay. I got some fun things that I was happy about getting anyway. Okay, so now let's kind of run through that. So that's Onyx, is the black that I used on here. Now, I personalized this piece because I wanted this to be, a familial piece that maybe my kids will want to hang on to down the road. So this house I did in old brick. Is that what I did it in? I've got it written down. Sorry. Oh, barn door. I did it in Classic Colorworks barn door. Our very first house that we purchased together was a red, it wasn't brick, but it was a red like farmhouse type house. And so I wanted this first house to be the red color to reflect the house that we had. So that's the first change that I made. I think the only changes I made to the brown is instead of the hazelnut that it calls for Weeks Dye Works, I used roasted chestnut. Is that right? I think. Maybe. I think there's some of that in there. But there's also down there, the star. Where's the star? It's over here. That is also roasted chestnut. And then, okay, so the greenhouse now, our current house that we live in is green, and so I wanted to have some green in there. So for the house, I used 4-leaf clover as the light green, and then Gentle Arts Forest Glade for the darker green. And with that, I had to change the color of the grass. So the grass on both of those, as well as in the pineapple, I used DMC 580 for those, because otherwise the grass was not going to, it was kind of going to blend in. I didn't want it to blend in against the house. So those are the first changes. And then we come down here to the flowers, and Our wedding colors were purple and green. Purple is my favorite color, green's my husband's favorite color. It actually worked out really well. And so I wanted those to reflect the colors of our wedding. And so I did, the purple is Classic Colorworks Grape Arbor. And then that green that I did, which the only green down here I think is in his initials, which his initials are JD. And so I did that in the Forest Glade color. I did mine in the purple. And then I did the year that we were married. I did that in the onyx for the black. So I think those are the only changes. And I wrote all of that down. Okay, yes. So those are the changes. Everything else I used the called for either, I think most of it was the called for DMC conversion because it's, Weeks Dye Works is what it, let's see, no. There's some Weeks, some Gentle Arts, and then some that are DMC. So I use the DMCs generally, and then I did change out some of the Weeks. Actually, most of the Weeks I changed out, it looks like. Pretty much most of the Weeks I changed out. So DMC, Weeks, Gentle Arts, and some color, Classic Colorworks is what I used. So that's the finish, and I cannot wait to get it hung up and finished. I'm just really excited to have it done, and really proud of myself for pushing myself to get something done this big in 1 month. I didn't think I was gonna do it after the first week. And then I just kind of kept working on it and getting up earlier, trying to get some stitching in, especially on the nights that I knew that I wouldn't get stitching in because of work. And so I'm just really excited to have that one finished and to have gotten it done in a month. I felt like that was a big challenge for me, and I overcame that challenge. So I'm excited for that. All right, so I'm gonna put this, oh, I did wanna, you have to chart out your initials, obviously, and your last name. So this is how I did it. My kids have these little notebooks. And so I came in here and drew my own squares because it tells you, like, it gives you the box that of the dimensions of where you would put it in and how much space you have, and then it gives you the letters. So this is how I did it. So that is mine. That's my husband's. And that's the year. That's how I charted out my, you know, you do what you gotta do. What you have to work with, you work with. All right, so for my ornaments that I've been working on, this was one that I started. It is the freebie from Priscilla's blog. I think it was for her birthday. It is the Stitching with the Housewives Santa. And this is my finish on him. And I will insert a picture of, I've taken pictures of all of the whips that I started with. And so a picture of where I started with at the beginning of the year. And then this is where I finished. And I did change out. So this was supposed to say Stitching with the Housewives, or SW, Stitching with TH, the Housewives, and I changed it out to say Jesus, to remember the reason for the season. And I've seen a lot of different versions, so I think I've seen Joy and the Year and Xmas, so just customizing that middle area for whatever you want. This is on a piece of Rit dyed 28 count Monaco that I Rit dyed. I think it was like denim blue maybe. I don't think I've gotten the evening blue that they usually use. I've not been able to find it. So this is what I stitched it on with, probably the called for colors on there. So that's that little guy. I've already picked out what I want to finish him on. So another thing that I'd like to do this year is, sorry for my squeaky chair, it's very squeaky. I want to try to fully finish my ornaments kind of as I go along. So I picked out the finishing pieces, and then I'll share like the finished products at the end of the year with my ornament parade, assuming I get all the ones done that I want to get done. This was another whip that I brought in. Like I said, I've got 4 ornament whips that I brought into the new year. So I will share a picture of where I was starting with him. Not very far. I had the top white done, and that was about it. So this guy is stitched on, I think it's a 28 count Jobelin. It was really hard to stitch on. Maybe because I'm used to other fabric, I don't know. I had a lot of trouble with it, which is why I think I stopped working on it initially. But I ended up pushing through because I wanted to get it done. And I also, I'm not big on restarting things, even if it's small and I didn't have a lot. I just didn't want to do it. And so I pushed through and I got him done. And he is the cutest reindeer. He is by Hands On Design, if I didn't say that already. And he's from one of the, I think it's 2015, either the Cross Stitch Preview magazine or the official like ornament magazine of 2015. Because I've got his companion piece, which is in the other one. Whichever one he's in, that one's in the other one. And I meant to grab it, but I forgot. So I'll put a picture in of what the finished one for that one will look like, because it's a whip. But this is him. He's stitched with, let's see. I didn't write down. It's like the called for colors. So white and a green and a red. So, oh, and there's a like 168 DMC. So there's like this gray in the middle, if you can see. There's like a little design of the gray. So that was my second ornament. My next one is another one that I brought in. So I'm pretty sure I had a picture that I took of it to show where I started with him. This is a free download, but I have not been able to find it. It's by Bonnie Woomer. It's called Noelle, and I think she is the Nebby Needle now, or was. I printed this in 2021, I think, but I've not been able to find the pattern. I did try, but you might have better luck than me. And it's called Noelle. I stitched it on a piece of 25 count Lugana that I coffee tea dyed as well. And I just used kind of my own colors. I used B5200, 3031, and then 895 for the red. And then this down here, it calls for, the color that she stitched it in is Weeks Dye Works Noelle, which is this floss. And I actually had it. I have never used it before, but I had it in my stash for some reason. I probably got it as with some sort of package or something. So I thought, okay, I'm gonna give it a try and see what it looks like. And I really like it. I think it would be fun to do a monochromatic piece in this, like a Christmas monochromatic piece in this, because it's just all the Christmas colors and just really pretty. So I thought that was fun. So that guy didn't take up much time to finish, which was great. All right, my final one, I'm gonna have to insert a picture here of what this one's supposed to look like. It's a dove. It is called Peace. It's by Hands On Design. Another one that, okay, so for this one, I only had this top white done, as you'll see as well. I'll show that too. So now yesterday I picked this one up after I had finished the Quaker in the morning. My daughter had gymnastics yesterday, so I had about 45 minutes, I think, of stitching that I was able to get in. So I continued on with the white, did all of the red border, and started in on the white down here. And then this will say Peace in here, and then there'll be a white dove with some greenery, very similar to Plenty. So they are companion pieces. And I think, I'm not sure if they're the same size. Let's put them up to each other. Plenty is a little bit bigger. So I don't know if there's 30 count black, but it's more like a Monaco. I think it's 28 count, but it is a little bit harder to stitch on than my normal Monaco that I stitch on, black Monaco. I don't know. I think that's also why I put this one away. So I stitched them on different fabrics, and you can see the different color. One's a little bit darker. And I don't think I like the fabric as much, which is why I stopped. But I really just want to get them done and get them off my whip list. That is the plan. Okay, so those are those. I do have one more monthly whip that I'm working on, and that is my Temperature Turtles by Stitching Mama. You can see my notes on the cover. So this is what it will look like, or ish, depending on what our weather is like. And she is on Etsy. I am stitching this on a piece of light blue. I think it's a Jobelin 28 count. It is a dyed fabric, but it's just one that I had in my stash, and I want it to kind of look like water, so that's why I did it this way. And this is where I am at so far. So I've got the first 3 months of the turtles outlined, and then this is technically June, I think, because I'll come back over here for, oh no, I don't know, I can't do months. April, May, June, yeah, so that'll be June. So I still need to do 2 more there. Hopefully I'll get those done, maybe this month or next month. But this is what our month so far is looking like. We've got some warmer weather in the beginning, and then we actually have some colder days, and then we go back to warm. And so this guy is going to be very colorful. None of the turtles on there have purple and yellow like us, because Tennessee is weird. We actually had some snow. The kids had a great time. We got maybe 2 or 3 inches, and we have this huge hill back. Our backyard is just a hill. And so I've got an old snowboard, so they went kind of sledding with their dad. Their dad was the one guiding everything. And they went down and they loved it. So we had enough snow to do that on one day. My sister, they're like 45 minutes north of us. They got like 6 inches. They were out of school for a week. We were only out of school for 2 days, but then my son started this virus that went through our entire house that we just finished up last week. Everyone had it for like 2 days, high fevers, no energy, and then everyone was back to normal after that. But he had to start it first. So he missed like a whole week of school because he missed those 2 snow days and then sickness. And then my daughter missed the next week of school for a couple days because of everything. And January, let me tell you, we're looking forward to some more weather. But here's where this guy is. So this is one that I'm going to keep working on every month as well. So this is just like a monthly piece that will be part of the rotation every month. And I'm keeping track. So the way that I did this, so this is a PDF that I got on Etsy. I've got the main pattern, and then there is, I don't want to show it too much, but there is like the color conversion or the days. So it tells you like the symbols for each day and what to do. That's what this is. So I am going in on, that's February. So this is my January. I'm just going in, and for each day, I'm writing down what the temperature was and then what that coordinates with on my sheet as far as the color conversion. And I'm using the, I think, varied chart because it's so varied here. We're not hot, we're not cold, we're right in the middle. So I have not done the 27th through today's the 30th. So I'm a couple days behind, so I do need to get caught up. But I'm keeping track on my phone. I've got a whole place where I keep track of what the weather is every day and put in what the high was, so I can keep track of that. So I'll get that guy finished up, then I'll have 1 month done, and then I'll just keep going on. All right, I think we've gotten through all of my whips. Woohoo! So now we are on to February whips and plans. So I still have some more whips to share because the main piece that I'm going to be working on for February I have chosen is my This Is the Day by Plum Street Samplers. So here is the cover photo. It is beautiful. I am going to make some changes. It's hard to see in the picture. There's a goat up here. I'm probably going to put this butterfly, maybe flip him around and put him over there instead. And then there's the 2 goats here. I'm going to do like the flower conversion that lots of people have done as well. And so that is my plan for this one. And so where I am starting, I'm going to go ahead and share that. And I'm stitching it on. Let's go start there. Picture This Plus 28 count Legacy Lugana. And this is going to be a big piece because it's on 28 count, which the motto was stitched, I think, on like 36 count. Yeah, 36. So mine's going to be a lot bigger than it. But this is where I'm picking it up. So this is where I left off last year. And so I'm still got a few bricks that I'm working to finish. And I think I'm on my last color of the bricks to finish. I've got the roof, everything over on that side, some more flowers, and then the words at the bottom and some of the border. So that is where I'm going to pick this one up, and I'd like to get it done. I think I can. I think I can get it done this month. It's not like when I'm starting from scratch from the other one. I think there's a lot of hope, and I'm using all the called for colors on this one. So that is my main piece that I want to focus on for this month. I do have another monthly piece that I am hoping to start. If I can get a picture, well, I've got it on my tablet. I wonder if they show a mock-up of it. So this is by Fox and Rabbit, and it is their free mystery sampler that they do. And this is the first time I've seen it, but it's very much a Quaker motif that they've got going on. And it's called, I think, Faith, Hope, and Love. So the first part is on the 1st of every month, so we'll have like the next one in February. This is the one from Etsy that I'm waiting on my floss to get here tomorrow. So this is the month 1 design. So you go onto their website, Fox and Rabbit, and you can find the mystery sal. So you can also follow the hashtag, and there's lots of different colorways that people are doing it in. I have chosen a dinky dye because I thought, okay, this is a monochromatic piece. It calls for like 6 skeins of floss for the whole thing. And I want something that's got a little bit of color variation, and I've never done silks. And I've heard great things about dinky dyes from Megan, the Seattle stitcher, and then Bridget, the museum stitcher. So they both have praised dinky dyes, so I want to give them a try. And so I went onto Hollis and Hands Creates. They had like a purple, like dark purplish black color. I can't remember the name of it, but I'll share that with you when it comes. So I'm waiting on that to come in the mail. It should be here tomorrow, and so I might start that one tomorrow night if I've got some time. But I'm going to stitch this on, it's a mystery, I don't think there's any label on it, a mystery count of linen that I have And I think it's either 30 or 32 count. I tried to count it and I just didn't do very well. So this is what I'm gonna stitch it on. Just a neutral color. So that's also another monthly piece. But the first part was like 70 by 70. I feel like that's doable to do in a month, along with everything else, maybe. All right, so I've got another whip that I'd like to maybe do some work on. I'm probably not gonna get it finished. If I did, that'd be nice, but I don't think it's gonna happen. This is Love Lives Here by Country Cottage Needleworks. And I am starting out with, this is where it is at. I think this is the top. So I've got the whole border, or the grain border, and now I'm working on the inner border is where I'm picking it up from last year. So I should at least be able to get the border down at some point and maybe start working on the inside. That'd be nice. There's still like some hearts and some things that have to go like in here and around the border, so it's not complete. But at least the green part is all matched up and the white is done on that border. This is stitched on 28 count coffee tea dyed Monaco with, I'm pretty confident, the called for colors. So yeah, Shrimp Cocktail's the pink. So it is called for colors. So we'll see if I can fit that one in just to get a little bit of work on it this month. That would be nice. It all depends on how Plum Street Samplers goes. And then I do have one that's kitted that I might want to pick up. It is a free chart. It's Love Mini Quaker by From the Heart Needle Art by Wendy. I'm just gonna flash the freebie because you can go to her website and find it. And I would like to do that one. And I've got it kitted up with 32 count opalescent Lugana in the colorway Cocoa. It's like a shimmery mauve pinkish color. I guess a muted pink. And the colors that I have chosen, I think it calls for 2 pinks. I've got Sweetheart, or Sweetest Heart, and Miss Madeline. Oh, Madeline. That's my daughter's name. Those are the 2 colors that I've chosen for it. And it's pretty small, and it's a Quaker. I'm all about the Quakers. Anyone else? Primrose and their Quakers. Love them. Want to stitch them. And then you'll see in my haul for Christmas, I got a whole bunch of Quakers by From the Heart Needle Art. All right, so for my 4 ornaments for February that I picked, I went through and I've got just all my ornaments all together. Whether they're freebies, whether they're printed charts, whether they're in magazines that I want to do, or whatever they are, I've got them all there. So this, I actually am going for like a Lizzie Kate theme this month. I've got 2 Lizzie Kates. This one is, it's from the Celebrate series. It's called Mary. And that's that little guy. And I think he'll be a pretty easy and quick stitch. So that's him. I haven't picked out like the floss or anything for any of these. And then I have another one that is from the 2017 Christmas Ornament Magazine by Lizzie Kate. Just a really, really cute one. Another small one. And so I think that one will be nice to stitch up. And I'm going to use my own colors. I've kind of just got, sorry for moving everything. I've got this ring of floss that's a mess that I keep adding colors to it, but it's just like some general Christmas colors that I like to stitch with. And so I'm just kind of picking from here with different pieces. If there's a color that I need that's not in there, I'll go pick it and add it to my stash on there and just keeping it for all my Christmas ornaments, rather than having to, go find all these variety of different colors, just kind of going with my own colorway. This is another Merry Christmas ornament. It's by Liberty House Primitives. I don't know where I got it. I'm sure it's from the internet. I will try to find it. Another like Merry Christmas Quaker. Again, I'm all about the Quakers. I love them. So those are my plans for February. And then I'll, try to catch up on the Faith, Hope, and Love Mystery Sal if I can. Quaker Turtle, I'll be working on him. So that's a lot. It's not all gonna get done, but we'll see what I can get done. All right, so let's go through a little bit of haul. I got some Christmas haul. It's all, and I don't know if I'll get through all this in this video because there's a lot. Not that that's a bad thing. There was the Jingle Ball since I've been on here, so I did pick some things up from the Jingle Ball. Let's see, I'm just gonna pull everything out of this bag that I've got. And then there's my Christmas haul from Christmas presents. This was a bag by Michelle Lee Quilts. This is my first Michelle Lee Quilts bag, and I saw it and I loved it and I had to get it, and I just really wanted a new Christmas bag. So I treated myself for a new Christmas bag, and it's beautiful. So it's just been carrying all of my haul for right now until I was able to show it. Now it's gonna get some sort of pattern put in there. I don't know what. As part of my my Floss Cannot Travel Alone, I bought the Plum Street Samplers Bless Our Land because I really liked it. I just went on to where I was able to find, I think it was from the Cottage Garden on Etsy. And she had this chart, so it came traveling with my floss for my my gentle arts that I needed. So there's that guy. And then with my other floss that just came yesterday, I got Hands On Design Noel and Merry Christmas, A Merry Little Christmas. So some more ornaments that I will hopefully get around to stitching this year. They're gonna go like top of the list. For Christmas, let's see if I didn't go through and organize these, I'm sorry. These are Quaker Turtles by With My Needle. This is from 123 Stitch. I actually saw the models when I went up to Keepsakes in Cincinnati, but they didn't have the chart. And so it was on my wish list and my husband got it for me, and I just love them. They had them all finished in this cute little basket. It was adorable. If I have a picture of it, I will share that with you. And so I love that. All right. I did get all of the, well, like I said, these are not organized. I probably should have tried to organize these. These salt boxes for Plum Street Samplers. That is only 3 of them. There's one more. Somewhere here. Not there. Well, when I come across it, I will share it with you. So these are the summer salt boxes. I will probably stitch these individually as like pillows. I've seen a lot of people stitching them. The New Hampshire sister is stitching it as one piece. Beautiful, I think. Pretty sure she's doing it one piece. And who else? There's a lot stitching it. This is autumn. And then when I find winter, I will show that one. I also got these snowball designs from With Thy Needle and Thread. My husband spoiled me, so all of these are from him. And so lots of just really cute snowman, probably for next year, pieces that I think would be great to make into little pillows for displays. Oh, here's the winner. There it is. I love those. They are deceivingly, all of Plum Street Samplers I think are deceivingly big. They look small. Like, this is the day I thought it was small, and then I got it, and it's huge. So they're all deceivingly, very deceiving. These are not in any kind of order. December, October, November, March, April, January, August, September, January. I don't know where February is. So I had some of these already, so those ones are, I think, are in my room. But I had 2 of these, so now I have all 10 of them. So these are the Quakers by From the Heart Needle Art by Wendy. And so there's January, February, March, April, May. Is that June? No, I have June and July. June and July are the ones that I had. August, September, I love the purple. October, love it. November, December. Probably not this year, but maybe these will be on my goal for next year. We'll see. And then I've been eyeing this book for a very long time. It is Seasons of the Heart by Brenda Gervais with a needle and thread. I can't wait. I love them. They're beautiful. More pillows I'd like to do. And then this is a Shepherd's Bush piece, The Star. It's pretty. Be a really cute ornament. Okay, so then I also got Adorables Fall. I did not have that one, I don't think. It was on my wish list because he went through my wish list. I did get some fabric, so I'm going to go through that real fast. This is Mushroom Bold, the January Fabric Club 32 count for color and cotton. I am switching over to a 36 count in March because they had already done everything when I asked to switch over from February. So I'm going to go start working on my 36 count stash because I'm starting to stitch more on 36 count and really enjoying it. This is the November Fabric Club Harvest Wheat. I'm in the neutral club, so I like all these neutrals since I stitch a lot on neutrals. And this was the, probably December is my guess. Yeah, December sugar cookie. So a very, very light color. I love it. And then from 123 Stitch, I got some fabric. So this is, I'm gonna try to use my board. 36 count Mirage. I'd love to stitch one of the like chalkboard type pieces on this. I think it'd be beautiful. 36 count Regency Edinburgh. These are Picture This Plus. Kind of like a light greenish color. This one's definitely a light greenish color. Or smoke blue. It looks green though. It's smoke blue. I don't know. 36 count. So trying to get these. These are all like 1/8 of a yard. I think I had 1/4 of a yard in here. This is a 1/16 of a yard. Winter Moon. Just for me to try out, and then another 16. This is 40 count, mocha, light mocha. I think I've got 2 pieces of 40 count now that I'm eventually gonna have to be brave enough to try. I just haven't tried them yet. So when this one came out, I've got the finishing piece, so I did go ahead and pick it up. This is the Christmas Quaker by Primrose Cottage. It's beautiful. I love seeing how everyone is stitching that one up. And then Sweet Wing had, I think it's the end of the year sale, so I picked up a few that I want to do this year, maybe if I can swing them. This is Blessed Is She. I actually just saw someone stitch this up on Instagram and it was beautiful. And then Be Strong, All You Who Hope. I really like the colors in that one. So I want to put all of these like on just like a gallery wall of stitching. That's my plan. And All Things Through Christ. And then French Giraffe also had a Christmas sale. This is 4x4 turtle hatchlings. So cute. Love it. And another 4x4 candy cane reindeer. Super cute. And then there was another sale. Emily Call Stitching had a sale. This is Ho 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 Santa. Yeah, there's a lot of pages. I have seen Christy Java Girl Stitches. I think it stitched that little Santa and the next one as well. So I think those would be really cute if you just like stitch the Santa, little cute ornaments. This is all like December. I've done really good in January with not buying much. This is all the sales in December, you know, end of year sales. Cherry Hill Stitchery had some sales. This is Sleigh Bell Rings. Nicole Spore had a stitch along with this. Snowman Sampler. Beloved. I want to stitch this in a slightly different colors for my bedroom because I've got another Beloved piece. It doesn't say B, but Beloved. I think this is also French Giraffe. Yes, this is her new Santa for El Salvador Santa Claus, but he is holding the nativity scene, and I love that. Love it. Oh, and here's the Holiday Quaker by Leela Studio that I got. So she had a sale, so I purchased the 2 Quakers that I wanted to do right now. The other ones are also large, and so like the seasonal ones, the summer, spring, all of them are huge. I'm not sure I'm ready to tackle those ones yet. So this is the Holiday Quaker. I do love that one though. I'd love to stitch it. Yep, I would love it. So for the Jingle Ball, we're almost done. I think this was one of the freebies, maybe? I can't remember if I bought this. Some of them were freebies, some of them I bought. Oh no, 2023 freebie. So this is Jolly Soul by Teresa Kogut, and he's super cute. And then this was another freebie that she had, and it is just Christmas. I didn't get to actually do a whole lot with the Jingle Ball because it was my husband's birthday, but I did go in and buy a bunch of patterns because, you know, why not? This is Hands-On Design Joy. I'd like to stitch it like that, like do the circle finish. Just challenging myself a little bit more. All is Bright. So this one's beautiful. Sarah from Sarah Stitchery stitched this one. I love it. And I can't tell if it's deceivingly, I think it's not too bad. Is that the stitch count? I don't see the stitch count. I don't think it's that big. It looks big. This one might be a deceivingly small one. It looks big, but maybe not. And then Very Merry, this was the ornament by Hands On Design. I love it. Super cute. And Tiny Modernist mini Christmas motifs. So I thought these would be really good. These are gonna go into like my ornament selection because I think I can do like each one individually. Maybe not all of them, but several of them, and they would be really cute to do individually as ornaments. And then Heartstring Samplery Be Minty. I don't think it was free. I think I bought this one. I like it. And then Snow Globe Santa. I don't know if I can show this. Because the patterns here. I'll try to do that. Cute. And this was a freebie by Hello from Liz Matthews. I think this one's on her website actually. I just hadn't printed it off. So there's that little guy. He's cute. And then this was another Liz Matthews that I'm pretty sure, I think it cut off the picture, is on her website as well as a freebie. So Merry Christmas. Okay, just a couple more haul. We're almost done. All right, Winter Sampler and Autumn Sampler with, I think these are silks. These were from Stash Unload that I got. But they got the silks with them. They were a really good price on there, which is great. And then this one also came with it, I think, the Jolliest Santa by Little Stitch Girl. Marathon of haul. So hopefully you found some pieces that you might be interested in going and purchasing. I will link the shops that I got them from. Okay, I lied. There's a box here, but it's small. I showed my husband the bow maker from Chantel's 141 design, and he got this for me for Christmas. I haven't tried it out yet, but I know she posted a tutorial, so I'm excited to try that out. And then because I was a part of the stitching seasons with Fat Quarter Shop, there was a coupon code that was sent to me. If you spend over maybe 100, I think, you can get the Stitching with the Housewives ribbons as a gift. And so I sent this to my husband because I knew he was going to be like going off of my wish list, and so he was able to get these. Kudos to the customer service because it automatically added like a quilt book, which I'm not a quilter, to it, but he wanted these, so he put like a little note just to see if by chance he would be able to use it, because it wouldn't let him put the code in because it automatically added that book during their sale. And so they emailed back and they said, which would you like? You could only have one. He said I wanted these, and so I was able to get all of these ribbon. And he wrapped them up and put them in for Christmas, which was great. So, okay, now we are done, I promise. I wanted to do some giveaways just as a thank you for hanging out with me. Thank you for following along my stitching journey. Your patience through last year. Sometimes life throws curveballs, and then you just have to kind of roll with that, and some things get put on the back burner, and that's kind of how things went last year. But hopefully this year I've got a better plan to kind of be able to balance everything. There's still lots of things going on, work and family and everything. But I do want to still be able to stitch, because that is my kind of outlet, as I know it is for most of us, of just being, bringing peace and calm. And I feel like I just am able to handle things better when I am able to stitch and have something in my hand. My husband and I have been catching up on some of our TV shows that we've not been able to watch over the last year, and they're crime fighting shows. And I get very, into them and anxious. And so I have to have something in my hands to stitch to relieve my stress. So I'm like, all right, grabbing my stitching so I can focus on that and look up. And then if I want to look down, I can go back to that. So that's where I'm at. So I want to be able to still be able to do my outlet, but manage everything a little bit better this year is kind of my hope. So we'll see how the plan goes. So far, it's going pretty well. For the giveaway, I have a question, because the Quaker Welcome is a piece that I am super proud of. And so I want to know what piece you're really proud of that you've stitched or that you're working on, and you just can't wait to see it finished, and you're super proud of being able to work on whatever it may be, whether it's a big piece, a small piece, a different count linen, or fabric, or just trying something new, just something that you're proud of. As far as your stitching goes, I'd be really interested to hear what that is for you. So this was my first big piece on a 36 count. I've got other whips going on 36 count, but I've not finished them and I've not stuck with them. So this is my first one on 36 count that I have stuck with and finished. And so I'm really proud of that too. And then also finishing it within a month. So for the giveaways, please like the video, be a subscriber, leave a comment, There's 3, so just type out the numbers 1, 2, 3 for the ones that you're interested in. I will do a random drawing at the end of February for my video, and then I'll share the winners on that video. There's nothing too big, so I think international is fine. I'm not terribly concerned about that. I think it'll be okay. But over 18, so that I can get your address and everything like that. And don't say giveaway all the spam words. I think everyone's pretty familiar with that. So the first one is going to be a year of celebrations by Hands On Design. This was a chart that was a duplicate that was gifted to me, and I have actually stitched this in individual pieces, which you can see. It should be in my pictures in the beginning for January, and I did change up January. I made it more red and check. So that's number 1. Number 2 is Blackberry Lane Designs, When Cardinals Appear. I thought it was appropriate for winter. And then number 3 is Flea Market Flowers by Lori Holt and So Emma. And I do have this floss keeper to go with it as well. So that is number 3. All right, so those are the giveaways. And then I just wanted to give a brief life update. My little baby is now 1 year old. We cannot believe it has been a year since everything kind of started with her. She has been doing remarkably well. She is growing. She's on the smaller side, but they're not too concerned about that because she's eating and growing and doing all the things. We go to her 1 year checkup the end of this week, so that'll be good to just kind of check in. And then she does have her, hopefully, final surgery next week. So we appreciate any thoughts and prayers and good wishes for that. This will be a little bit bigger than the last one. So the very first surgery she had was on her jaw, and that was huge, but she was in NICU for recovery. So they kind of took care of everything. She was in NICU for a good 4 or 5 weeks after that. Her second surgery was to remove the pieces that were in the jaw to help fix everything. And so that one, we had her, she was an outpatient procedure, and she did beautifully. I was very, anxious as a mom to be caring for her after that surgery. But it was a little bit less invasive, I would say. So this next surgery is going to require at least 1 night stay in the hospital. So I'll be with her, and my husband will be back here. We do have family coming in to help with the big kids as well. But it is for the cleft repair. So she has a horseshoe cleft, which means she's got an opening in the roof of her mouth and like the back. So she doesn't have like the hard or soft palate in her mouth. So they'll be going in to repair that. And there's a lot of restrictions as far as she can't take a bottle. She's got to be like syringe fed. She can't put anything in her mouth. So we've got this little jacket type thing that will keep her hands. She can still kind of move around and it's comfortable. It's just she can't reach up to her mouth because they don't want to mess up any of the surgery. So it is going to be a little bit more intense for us as far as the aftercare and just making sure she's comfortable. And she's a thumb sucker, so I know she's not going to be happy. That's kind of her soothing. So we have that coming up, but we are prepared and we just trust that everything's going to go well. And we know that, God's got this for us. So she's wasn't thrilled with cake. We did give her some cake. She was able to do that. She didn't love it, or the getting messy part. But she did enjoy being sung happy birthday too. So she loves that. She's clapping, crawling like crazy, cruising the furniture, keeping us on our toes. Everything goes in the mouth, and so we have to keep the big kids and their toys away from her as best as possible, and then be like a ninja and grab it from her because she's super fast before she gets anything in her mouth. It's the fun life of a little baby crawling with big siblings. But other than that, the big kids are doing good. They're in school. We've had a month of sickness. We're hoping that that's kind of behind us because it's just been not fun trying to keep the little one healthy. Thankfully, she got sick a few weeks before surgery, so it shouldn't be an issue. But now we're a week out, so now we've got to keep her really healthy so that everything goes off without a hitch for surgery. That's really the big thing that we've got going on. Other than that, it's just kind of life as normal. Christmas was great. Besides the sickness, we still were able to celebrate with family and enjoy that time, which was good, and got a little bit of snow. So not much in the way of just life just being super busy, but that's what it is. I know it's busy for all of us, and we just make time for the things that we love. But that is it for me today. We are like right at an hour, so I figure that's probably a good stopping point. Thank you so much for coming along on this journey with me, for hanging out with me today. I hope everyone's able to get some stitching in. I know I speak fast, so if you need to, YouTube, you can slow down the speaking to where if I speak too fast, you can catch what I said. So I apologize for speaking super fast. That is kind of just my personality and how I talk. So I do have to try to tone it down and work on it a little bit. But thank you guys for hanging out with me. I hope you're able to get some great stitching. Have a great month ahead. Happy Valentine's Day in advance because that's coming up. Need to put out some Valentine's decor. So gonna try to do that this week. Thank you so much. I will see you guys hopefully in a month.